She was always effervescent, bubbly, happy, never down, and we just got along great and loved dancing with her.
Oh, we loved to go dancing. We did a lot of going out on the weekends, going dancing, and I'd take him to the sorority parties because he was the good-looking older man that went to the sorority parties with me. And he'd go to his Naval Reserve, and he'd come in all gorgeous in that naval officer's uniform. And the big thing, we would go a lot of times to the Officers Reserve Club down in Long Beach because they had wonderful dinner and dancing on weekends that was really inexpensive. So, you know, we felt like real big shots when we went there, and I loved it. We'd go in and everybody, they'd salute him because he was an officer. And, oh, that was big time stuff.
I was trying to get her to marry me, and she never would give me an answer. And then one night she said, "I don't think I'll go back to school in September." I said, "What?" And that was it.
When we got engaged, I was 19. I guess I just turned 19, and I called my parents to tell them I got engaged. And my dad's comment was, "So what the hell took you so long?" I mean, I was in my second year of college already. We got married up here at the Beverly Wilshire Hotel. It was a beautiful wedding.
We enjoyed it very much. The usual fussing and crimping and all that, but it was very nice.
Dinner, I think, was $4 and something. Now, this was a very fancy wedding. We had drinks were 75 cents each. And it was a beautiful, beautiful wedding. And our fondest memory of the whole thing, when I get nervous, I can't eat. When Joe gets nervous, he eats. So he ate his dinner, and then he took my dinner, which I hadn't touched, and ate my dinner. And I've never let him forget that one.
We honeymooned in Acapulco, and then Mexico City. And, you know, it's the first time she'd been out of the country, and me too.
We got on the plane. I think it was the first time Joe had ever been. He was in the Air Force during the war, and the Naval Reserve. It's the first time he was ever on an airplane. We went on our honeymoon.
We took this one-bedroom apartment in 1952, and then she got pregnant with Steve.
I'm the youngest.
Steven's the biggest liar.
I'm the youngest of all three.
It goes in order. This way, this
youngest,
way, this way.
middle, oldest.
I'm the baby by at least a decade.
Not even close. It was wonderful for them to be with me. It was a joy.
He beat the crap out of me.
You'd walk by him and he'd punch you, and you'd say, "What was that for?" And he'd say, "You looked at me."
And then we would have silent fights where we'd just dig our fingernails into each other's arms until we drew blood. No sound would come out of our mouths, but we would just dig fingernails.
Mom says she always worried most when we were quiet. I think my dad's philosophy was to let my mom take care of it so that he could more enjoy us when he was with us, because he wasn't with us all day every day.
My mother was much more involved on a day-to-day basis. My father would step in when things reached a crescendo.
And my mom's was pretty straightforward to talk about whatever the issue was or the problem was, and not sweep things under the rugs, and really talk through it.
I remember her dressing up to go out with my dad on the weekends, and I thought she was very glamorous because her hair was always done and her dresses were always beautiful, and I'd walk around with her mink stole on and her high heels and just thought she was glamorous.
My father had a lot more hair. He was very good looking, still is. Everybody always refers to him as a little boy, and he always had that little boy spark about him. Very calm, never yelled about anything. I never yelled at me. Taught me how to ride a bike without a single harsh word. Taught me how to drive a car without a single harsh word.
And when I think of my parents, I think in general that they are two people that had the best marriage out of any two people I ever met or knew. I never remember them fighting. I never remember them like sleeping on the couch or doing anything like that. And they always got along. They still get along to this day. They travel together. They hold hands together. It just always seemed like the best marriage of anyone I knew. And I always thought that's how life should be. I'm sure that maybe there were business ups and downs for my dad that he had to deal with all the time. And maybe there were relationship ups and downs for my mom and dad, but I didn't see any of that and didn't notice any of that. And so it seemed like a very stable, very steady life that we all enjoyed growing up in this house.
So stable, in fact, that I wouldn't go away to sleepaway camp because I'd be too homesick. I don't think I ever slept over at anybody's house until I was maybe 15 years old or something. Definitely felt protected at home, and that was where I wanted to be. Even as late as college, my parents were urging me to go away to college. Didn't want to go away to college. I wanted to stay in the cocoon. I think they were very liberal parents. I don't know if it was, I mean, in a good way. I mean, they gave us a lot of freedom. They trusted us. I didn't have a curfew. I was very social and would go out a lot. And they just were just like, okay, just let us know where you are and that you're safe. And so I appreciated that.
I think I benefited a lot from Frankie paving the way, because she was out a lot more than I was. So by the time I was going out, they were like, yeah, you can't do anything worse than Frankie ever did. Go ahead.
I always remember both of them being very involved. My dad, from way back, was like was on the Parking and Traffic Commission, and now he's on the Public Works Commission, and he's always been active. He was president of Jewish Big Brothers and involved in the National Big Brothers. So I think back on him doing all of that. And my mom was always involved in everything I can remember, from now Bet Shuva, going back to Jewish Federation, to all kinds of other different charities and activities, and really very involved, always at the school meetings, always doing the kinds of things that, like, I mean, Leave It to Beaver, kind of like lifestyle existence.
Maybe if they didn't even have the money to give, they were giving their time. Later they were giving their money. Now, they give both. And it just was, from day one, I think, just very important to them.
What values do you think that you got from your mom?
Taking care of family, making sure everybody around you is happy and has everything they need. Taking care of the world, charity, tzedakah, tikkun olam. Always volunteering for everything, always making sure if you said you were going to do something, you did it.
I'd say decency and kindness and just good human skills of treating the world right and hoping that the world would treat you right in exchange, trying to take care of other people and help whenever possible.
Values of putting your family first, and that's, your family's the most important thing.
And more for my dad, a desire for good, hard work and a desire to accomplish good things in the world.
Similar to my mom, keep your word. If you say you're going to do something, you do it. Make sure everyone around you has everything they want and need. Repair the world. Charitable service is really important. Taking care of your family is really important.
Same thing about really putting your family first. I mean, that's just the main theme that ran through our house as young kids, that just like your family came first and everything else was not quite as important. They're great grandparents. They love their grandchildren. They make their grandchildren a priority. On the one hand, they have this really busy social life, which I think is great. And on the other hand, they want to make more time to see their grandchildren as much as they can. And the grandchildren love coming over to Grandma and Grandpa's house.
When I need help or helping out, they're always there and happy to see the kids and happy to spend time with them and buy them things and treat them well, and they're very nice to them. So they're like the perfect grandparents.
They're wonderful grandparents. The kids adore them. They can't wait to be with them. They're there whenever I need them to babysit. I sort of wish they didn't have quite so much of a social life still, so they were around a little bit more. There are times when they're busier than I am, usually. But they're wonderful with the kids and really have a fabulous, friendly relationship with all of them.
Oh, grandchildren, come on. I used to say to the kids, if you don't have children, I'm going to be too old to lift a grandchild. And then we got 8 of them in 9 years. And it was wonderful.
You don't have any of that, you better do this or you won't get to go to this place, it's only good stuff. It's really wonderful.